Hello, everyone. Good morning. Welcome back to Kosi's Arsenal podcast. My name is Kosi, and it is another weekend. That means another match day in the Premier League, another match preview from Kosi's Arsenal podcast. How are you guys doing? We are in good moods. First and foremost, let me say this. We've been drawn against Olympiacos. I know you know, and I didn't do this story because I was busy. But we've been drawn against Olympiacos. In the round of 16 of the Europa League. Now that means we shall have to travel to Greece, play them away from home, and then they'll have to travel to England. Of course, the nightmare of Arsenal playing Olympiacos is whenever we play them, something happens. Like last season in the Europa League, they're the club responsible for our dropout. And you know, there's so many things you could say about that game, but I don't want to go back there. And Mikel Arteta did say that we're going to be drawing a lot of lessons from that game. So I hope we actually do, because I'm really tired of being dumped out of competitions by a 1 week Olympiacos. But I'll discuss that and more when we actually get there. The match days will be March 11th. And I think March 18th, if I'm not really mistaken, March 11th and March 18th, because it's going to be 1 week later than we actually play the second leg. So I will discuss that. We'll talk about that. But today, let's talk about Leicester City and Arsenal, the match preview, the predicted lineup, who should start, how can we beat Leicester City, because predicted lineup, match preview, for me, that's all, that is what it should be. Who should start first and foremost, and how do you beat your opponent? How can Mikel Arteta set up to beat Brendan Rodgers tomorrow on Sunday in that Sunday tie? Is it even possible that we can beat Leicester City? Because it's a big question. They are very tough opponents. We are going away to the King Power Stadium. It's one of the stadiums that are not easy, especially this season. They're having a season of their lifetime. Of course, someone is going to tell me, because they won the league, that was a season of their lifetime. But I think if you look at the way they are picking up results this season, the way Leicester City are playing, the way Leicester City, are enjoying football, I think for me, they are having the season of their life. When they won the league, they were winning by a 1-goal margin, 1-0, 1-0, 2-1. It was always intense. It was always with a lot of pressure. But now they're getting results. They're third on the table, but they're getting results, decent results. 3-0, 3-1. They're beating the big clubs. Look at the way they overturned the result against Liverpool, almost within the last 10 minutes of the game, and it was 3-1. And Liverpool absolutely spanked and flat-footed out of the game. So I think it's going to be between Arsenal and Leicester City's midfield today. Thomas Partey, Granit Xhaka, Dani Ceballos, or whoever is going to be that midfield, versus Harvey Barnes, James Maddison, Wilfred Ndidi, and Yuri Tielemans. The midfield that I like most in the Premier League is coming up against my team, because the truth is, if you told me who would you take from Leicester City, it's got to be Ndidi, it's got to be Tielemans, it's got to be Maddison, it's got to be Barnes. And that is how they roll, and that's how their team evolves. It's always those four, and isn't it? It's always those four, and whenever they combine, something happens. And I was watching that game, their last game against Aston Villa, and I was really impressed, because the reason I was impressed is not because I like them or something like that, but the way they played against Villa is a very strong side this season. Very good. The Joe McGinns, the Rossi Barkleys in that midfield, you've got to give them a lot of respect, because they beat us. They beat Arsenal. And I think they controlled the midfield in the first half. But the way Leicester City controlled the midfield, the way the connection between Harvey Barnes and Maddison, they have around 15 or 18 goals this season between them and their non-strikers. They're just forward. So I think if you're going to beat them, that's one of the things you have to look at. How do I break the communication between Harvey Barnes and James Maddison. That's the first thing you've got to do. But they also have a very, very unending supply link from Yuri Telemans and Wilfred Ndidi. And I think Telemans and Ndidi do the donkey work, and then putting the butter on the bread, smearing the butter on the bread, it's Maddison, Vardy, and Barnes. And what you have to do is cut off the supply. Make sure that Maddison is abandoned. Make sure that Harvey Barnes is abandoned. And the tricky thing with Harvey Barnes is he is a very tricky player to deal with. He's not a very easy player to deal with. He is very, very tricky. You're going to have to do so much with a player like Harvey Barnes. He can shoot from outside the box. He can run in spaces. He can run with the ball. He can run without the ball. So it's not going to be an easy one for Arsenal, and everybody actually should know that. So let us look at the predicted lineup and see how Arsenal should line up to beat Leicester City on Sunday. First and foremost, let's go with Bernd Leno. I think that's an easy one. If you have a goalkeeper like Bernd Leno, then it's always going to be safe, isn't it? So I think I'll go with Bernd Leno. I love Bernd Leno. I don't think he has a problem. I chose him over Martinez last summer. I'll choose him again, unless when he makes some stupid mistakes, but I think I'll choose him again. David Louis is going to play with Gabriel Magalhaes in the centre-back partnership. For Christ's sake, we need to get a centre-back partnership. In the last 5 games, it looks like we have used 5 centre-back pairings, 5 different centre-back pairings. It doesn't make sense. We've got to get a centre-back pairing that can, build that chemistry between them. If it is, Gabriel Magalhaes and Rob Holding, let it be that. If it is Lewis and Rob Holding, let us use that. If it's going to be Murray and Holding, let it be that. This game we use Rob Holding and Murray, and the next game we use Lewis and Magalhaes. It doesn't make sense. We've got to have a main man in defense. We've got to build our defense on someone. And for me, I think that should be Gabriel Magalhaes. However much he's been a little bit sloppy these days, I think he's still good. I'll go with him. So I'm going to put Gabriel. I'm going to invite Gabriel to play with David Louis. I think that is going to be fine with everybody, with every Arsenal fan. Hector Bellerin comes in the right back, not in the left back, but in the right back. And this is where problems are going to be before we even go any further. This is where problems are going to be. One, because Maddison loves moving through the wings. And I think if he meets Bellerin, it's going to be a very, very, hard thing for Arsenal to handle. And this is the same wing where Harvey Barnes goes. I mean, it's scary. It's so scary. Arsenal. No, we have to deal with Barnes, who is going to go against Bellerin, but we also have to deal with Maddison, who loves going through the wings, and he's going to go through Bellerin. And I think if Brendan Rodgers is a proper manager and is planning for this game, he's going to tell them they have a weak link. It's Bellerin. Exploit that. And you don't blame him, do you? It's all about, getting the weakness of your opponent and beating them. And I think with the terrific form they are in, how good they are, the confidence levels they are in, I think Hector Bellerin, if it's possible, we should replace him with Cedric. Kian is back, and that is that is one of the strongest points I have to talk about whenever I'm making a predicted lineup or a match preview. Kian is back. We have Kian back. Kian is back. Yeah, and the reason is when Cedric was playing as a left-footed centre back, as a left full back, we were missing so many things, and I hope you guys noticed. We were missing so many things. One, we were missing, those runs from Kian Tierney. We were missing someone who could add that creativity from deeper areas. And I think you saw that against Benfica, what Kian Tierney was trying to do. Most of the chances were coming from the left wing. The second goal came from Kian Tierney, and everything looks so good and better when Kian Tierney is on the pitch. And it's inevitable for Arsenal to play from the left wing because you have Kian Tierney there, you have Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang there, you have Bukayo Saka there, you have either Pepe or Martinelli there, and and even Thomas Partey, likes playing, through that wing. So you're going to find yourself playing through the left wing much more often because you have a lot of quality in those areas. Through players like Kian Tierney. In the midfield, Thomas Partey did play against Benfica, and I think he really did a tremendous job trying to change things, trying to change the narrative. Because I had said it in the match preview, the day before. If you want to beat Benfica, they have a lot of quality in the midfield. They use 4 midfielders. That means their strength is in their midfield. Try to weaken them. Try to neutralize their midfield. And I think when Thomas Partey comes onto the pitch, we do it. We did it. We manned the midfield. Everything was on our side. We created chances. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang finished them off, and there we go. We went through. I'll play him with Emile Smith-Rowe. I really like Smith-Rowe. I don't know why, but I'll play him with Emile Smith-Rowe and Martin Odegaard. Not Granit Xhaka in this case. I want to try something new. And I'm going to tell you why I don't want to use Granit Xhaka. Why did I even write Xhaka? It's Odegaard. Just a minute. Okay. So, with Martin Odegaard, that is Smith-Rowe, Partey, and Martin Odegaard. But I know he's not going to use Smith-Rowe here. He's going to use Granit Xhaka. But I'm going to tell you the reason as why I had used those 3 in the midfield. And I'm going to be right. Yeah, I'm going to be right. Look, yeah, you might use Xhaka, Partey, and Martin Odegaard in the midfield, which is okay. But for me, I think if we used Emile Smith-Rowe, Martin Odegaard, and Thomas Partey, and try not to be too defensive in this game, of course, which is also okay, because if you have Partey going forward, Odegaard going forward, you could add Emile Smith-Rowe in the wings, which is doing, and I do not actually like it. I don't like Emile Smith-Rowe playing through the left wing or the right wing. I think he needs to play a little bit, more central behind the strikers, something like that, or you can even play him deeper as a number 8, as a box-to-box, but don't play him as a left winger. It really doesn't work for him and doesn't work for me. But the reason as why I want Smith-Rowe and Odegaard to be invited in the midfield with Thomas Partey is Leicester City don't play a low block. They don't play a low block. So what they do is actually have that ball and run at you. And when they run at you, they're going to leave a lot of space behind you to run at. Thomas Partey is very good at utilizing those spaces by, giving us those long balls with David Luiz and Gabriel Magalhaes. I think we are lucky to have the 3 of them in the same lineup. But you'll need people who are going to run at those balls. And that's why I invite Odegaard and Emile Smith-Rowe, because Partey Partey is going to be looking for the runs of Saka, Aubameyang, Smith-Rowe, and Martin Odegaard. And that's why I think we might not beat Leicester City by getting the ball for so many minutes. But the way you're going to beat Leicester City is let them bring that ball to you and then run back at them. There are going to be a lot of spaces, to run in behind, the midfield or the defense of Leicester City. And make no mistake, they have a very, very good defense. The Fofanas, the Soyunchus, they have a very solid defense. And going at them, pressing Leicester City, making them going to the back foot. For me, I don't think it's a strategy that will work for us. I think we need to run. We need to run at them. Let them bring that ball and we take them back. And that's why I had suggested that we could actually play with Emile Smith-Rowe and Martin Odegaard in the midfield. It would be nice. It would be really, really nice. But so that means Emile Smith-Rowe will be playing on the left wing as he has been playing, or we might see another change like Pepe. I would want to see Pepe start, but look, I think just to be very sure, I think he's going to use Smith-Rowe. I think he's going to use Smith-Rowe, and there are no questions about that. Bukayo Saka plays on the right wing, probably the most important player in Arsenal's football right now, making assists, scoring goals, engaging in play, doing the tackles. What doesn't he do? What doesn't he do as a player? I think if you want to remove the heart of Arsenal, it's Saka. you can't deal without creativity. I know Martin Odegaard has really improved our game, especially going forward, trying to get those confidence balls in and so many things. But for me, I think Saka is still exceptional. He's still that kind of player that you're looking at and you're like, what is he gonna do? What is he going to do next? And I think that is the kind of player that Arsenal lack. We had it in Ozil and Alexis Sanchez. That kind of player that can create that suspense. What is he going to do? You have a player like Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who everybody knows when he is in a goal-scoring position, 90% that is a goal. But you don't have a player like Bukayo Saka, so many times, who gets the ball and everybody gets on tension. What is he going to do? Is he going to pass it? Is he going to shoot? Is he going to cross it? Is he going to, dribble 1-2? And I think that's the beauty with Saka. So Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, as usual, getting that press against Benfica automatically is going to be the striker that actually plays for Arsenal in the Premier League weekend against Leicester City. So that is my predicted lineup: Leno, Luiz, Tierney, Gabriel, Bellerin, Partey, Odegaard, Xhaka, Smith Rowe, Aubameyang, and Bukayo Saka. Tell me what you think about that predicted lineup in the comment box below, and also tell me what you think should be the right predicted lineup. Because look, this is the predicted lineup that I made myself. I think Mikel Arteta will do this, but he might need to to rotate some of the players. Probably rotate Smith Rowe for Pepe. Or rotate Saka for Gabriel Martinelli. We need to see more of Gabriel Martinelli, and I'll talk about him if I don't see him against Leicester City. I'll talk about him next week. We need to see more about. We need to see more of Gabriel Martinelli. He deserves that playing time. He really deserves that playing time. My name is Kosi. Smash like on this video, and I'll speak to you in the next one.